of mine as far as they're concerned.
We were 7 miles away from the nearest doctor, and I had 2 killed. My wife says, we've got to do something. You can't wait for a doctor coming all this way. So I got in touch with our lodge and had a word with them. Came out here, and I liked the place, so we sold them. But what better could you have? The surroundings and everything are marvellous.
Well, of course, we have no family. And it has meant everything to me. We really came, asked to come here, so that when the first one died, the second one could come into the home. We knew what was going to happen, you see, which gave one peace of mind.
The 275th Anniversary Grand Lodge, a business meeting of extraordinary size and international flavour, was memorable in another way. It was the first to open its doors in a spirit of frankness to let the world know what English Freemasonry is doing. It was a time to look back, a time to take stock, and a time to look forward.
The opening up, naturally, as was said today, to a reasonable extent, as we had today, to have our wives participating, I think they will get to understand us better.
If people think you've got a secret, they always think it's more important than it really is. And if you tell them about it, then they realise that there's nothing to get worried about.
I don't really think that there's so many secrets. I think it's a lot of nonsense to say there are a lot of secrets about it. They have a lot of fun doing what they do, and it's very harmless, and they do a lot of good for other people.
We have a lot more involvement in the States, the ladies do. The men really, it's called a family affair now, so they do allow the ladies to, we're not allowed to go to their meetings or anything like that, but we can be part of a lot of the things.
Members of Grand Lodge will understand when I say that apart from increasing the numbers attending by a factor of 7 compared with the Grand Temple, and from adding a few extra speeches and the dedication of a foundation stone, this has been a fairly typical day's work. I am also glad that for this occasion we have been able to be so public and to invite ladies, Master Masons, the press and friends to be present at what is also a business meeting of our Grand Lodge and Grand Charity. I'm not suggesting that all our future meetings should be as open as this, but if occasionally, say once in 25 years or so, people can see that our normal business is as we describe it, they may be persuaded to shed whatever unreasonable worries they still have about what in truth is only an inclination to privacy. It can do no harm occasionally, though not too often, to go back to first principles and so try to make certain we are navigating by the right stars. This anniversary offers a good occasion to ask such questions. What then is Freemasonry? Clearly, it must be more than what the Archbishop of York in 1987 called a fairly harmless eccentricity. If that was all that Freemasonry was about, it would hardly have flourished as it has for over 300 years, attracting and retaining the interest of millions of men today all over the world. The ritual calls it a peculiar system of morality, a handy phrase which perhaps needs a little explanation. Under God, the morality is the same as any good and peaceable person's code of behavior. But the system of teaching it is certainly peculiar in the sense of being our own. We are taught that its 3 great principles are brotherly love, relief, and truth. How do these ideas apply to today's Masons? Our lodges provide company, the comfort of familiar and often moving ceremonies in which all members play their part, as well as friendly encouragement to join in a wide variety of administrative and charitable activities. Freemasons learn in their lodges the satisfaction of making the best contribution that their circumstances and talents allow to what is going on, and they are likely to take the experience into their lives outside their lodges. You will find that many useful and public-spirited members of our society are in fact practicing what Freemasonry has taught them. Freemasonry also brings together people from vastly different backgrounds. In Anderson's phrase, it is the happy means of conciliating friendships among those who must otherwise have remained at a perpetual distance. With its sensible rule prohibiting discussion of religion or politics within its lodges, it removes two likely causes of dissension and allows Freemasons to concentrate instead in what they have in common. And that, in this world, cannot be bad. On the contrary, with its encouragement of good fellowship, of consideration for one's fellow men, and its insistence on a belief in God, Freemasonry can reasonably be held to be a force for good in society. It is up to all Masons to ensure that that enviable position is only enhanced. As we approach the end of this part of our program, we might usefully think where Freemasonry is going to be 25 years from now. I have no doubt that it will still be as interesting, as satisfying, and as much a quiet influence for general good as it is today. It will survive if we all, as Grand Lodges, maintain, and make sure our people maintain, our adherence to the basic principles by which we recognize our Freemasonry as regular. It will thrive in proportion to the effort we put into it and in proportion to our confidence in our craft and in ourselves. Joshua had it about right. Only be thou strong and very courageous, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Be strong, brethren, and may you fare well.
Individual lodges bring their ceremonies to a close, again in the same way, with a closing ode. The work is over, it will soon be time for refreshment. During the Grand Lodge meeting, greetings were heard from some of the distinguished visitors. One of the speakers was the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Canada in Ontario, Norman E. Byrne, QC. Many would remember what he said.
Within this building is visible evidence that men of every race and creed, men of every free country on the surface of the globe, can meet together in unity and happiness. Men who just a few short days ago were complete strangers, but who now, by the common bond of membership in our great order, can greet each other as brothers, sure and safe that each of us believes in the great principles of our craft that raise men to a higher plane where petty and individual concerns have no place. What a great privilege for each of us to be here, in one place, at one time, all in accord, to extend honors and congratulations to the Mother Grand Lodge of the world and its most distinguished Grand Master. May your Grand Lodge continue in good health and vitality under your leadership, to give example to Freemasons over the 4 divisions of the globe until time shall be no more.